Welcome back to Ayaz Tech. In this video, we are going to build a login page with Angular. It is going to be a very simple and straightforward tutorial for the beginners. We will not be using any API, but we will have the complete functional approach for the real-time projects. We will have admin view and public view. For example, this is the public view landing page, and if you are not logged in, you cannot access the admin page, so it is fully protected. But if you log in with the correct details, then it will allow you to access that page. But if you give it an invalid detail, it will throw the error in the form of alert. But if you give it correct detail, then it will take you to the admin page. And we also have the logout button. So now if you open the admin page manually like this, it will allow you to access it. If you log out and try to access it again, then it will not allow you to visit that page. We did that with the help of the auth guard, and also we created a service. In this service, we are using this users array to check the login details, and also we are saving the data in the local storage to keep the session. So if you want to learn how to implement this by yourself, then please continue watching this video. First of all, we will create a new Angular project. For that, type ng generate ng new and the project name. And make sure to enable the routing, and I will be using SCSS. Select that. Alright, the project has been installed. So now we will go into that project folder. For that, use cd login, and now we will open it in our editor, that is VS Code. So for that, I will code dot. Alright, the project has been opened in the VS Code. Now I will start this server. For that, you have to use ng serve -o. -o means it will open it in your browser. So okay, the project has been opened in the browser. After that, we will generate a few modules and components. So for example, we will have two portions of our website. One is public view, and the second one is the admin view. Admin view is dashboard, so nobody should be able to view that page. So let's do that. Open a new terminal and generate module ng generate. First of all, we will generate the public view. We also want the routing, press enter. Now I need to generate the component as well for the public. We generate C public / public flat to generate the files in the same folder. Now I will generate another module that would be admin. We want routing as well. For that module also we want to generate a component as well. Right, admin and public routes and for components have been generated. Now in the HTML, I will remove all of this code. We will have router outlet here. Okay, and in the app routing, we will define our routes. So our very first route will be path would be empty. That's mean the landing page would be public module, and we will lazy load the public module. For that we'll use load children. Then we will have to give it a function that will return this code. So this is how you lazy load a module. Now we will go to the public module, and the routing I will add path, and in the component I will load the public component, and then in the public component we will have another router outlet. Okay, and then here I need to have another property children, and in that we will have, so in this array you can have multiple child routes that will be the child of the public route. So first I want to have empty path that will target to the another component, and that component would be the landing page that I will just generate. So ng generate component, and it will be landing. I will first generate a module, generate landing, and then I will generate the component as well. I want to keep it inside the public folder because this would be visible only on the public. So now inside the landing, I will export the landing component so that we could use it outside of this module as well. Now I will import the landing module here, and after that here I will use that component that we just created. Alright, now if you check your page, you can see landing component is being loaded. So you can design it if you want to. I will just randomly design here. Here we will have an up button that will take us to the login page. We don't want padding, so I will go to the parent. We'll remove the padding, the body. Oh, Alright, now in the landing module, I will import the router module so that we could link our button with the help of router link directive. So here I will add router link, and there I will give it a path of the login page. And now we need to define that route as well. So in the app routing, I will define another path that would be slash, that would be login, and this time I will use the component directly, but I will still have to generate a login component. For that, let me generate C login center, and now we can use the login component, and let's see if that works. If I click on that, you can see it took me to the login page, and we will design the login page now very quickly. All right, so now we will make it functional. We will not be using any kind of API here. This would be very simple and straightforward. We will just hard code some login details somewhere in our service, and then we will verify if username password is valid or not. So for that, I will create a service. For that, just generate ng generate s and auth. That would generate the auth service, and then here I will save the list of users. This will have an array, and we will have multiple users in it. ID 1, name David, and username David, and password ABC. Okay, and now I will have another user XYZ, and password is ABC. Okay, now I will create a login function here, and then so here in login function we will expect two parameters, one username and password, and the type of both parameters would be string obviously. And then I will check if this dot users, let me fix the spellings. Okay, if users dot find and you dot username is equal to given username, and u dot password is equal to given password. If we find any user with this condition matching these conditions, then we will consider that this is a valid login details. So we will just return that. We will simply save that user in our local storage in the form of session. So here I will create a variable session and use any, and here I will use that if So here I will save this user in the session is equal to this. Let me actually save this code in a variable so that we could reuse it. Let user is equal to this, and here I will check if user was found, then we will save that user in the session. But if user was not found, then we will do nothing. But before that, we will save this session in the local storage as well, so that if user reload the browser, that session should be there. So we need to persist that session. For that, use the local storage dot set item, and we will name it session. Then we will need to convert this object into the string. For that, I will use json.stringify and use this dot session. Okay. And then I will return this user as the response of this function. Now in the login component, we will track an event click, and on click event we will call the login function that we will define here. And here I will add the constructor so that we could inject our auth service. Now I will create a form that will save the values from the inputs. For that, use form is equal to form group. Actually, the type should be group. And also I need to inject another service that could be form builder. And now we will initialize the form by using this dot fp. Here we will have both fields, username here. I will add the validator dot required so that we can enable the validation as well. And here I will have password validator dot required. Okay. So now we need to add another module in the app module, that would be reactive form module. Now in the HTML I will add form group, and then I will give it the form that we just created, and after that we will add form control name and give it the same name that we created in the component file. So these properties should be exactly same as you are using in the form control name, otherwise your values, your inputs will not be linked. So now you can see that I will display the value of the form of JSON, so that you can see right now if I type something, then it will make those changes in the value in the real time. And also I will have the disable attribute here so that it could keep the login button disabled until the form is valid. So if form is not valid, then keep it disabled. And right now there is no design we implemented, so we have to create some style for the disabled button. So So I am saying that if button is disabled, then background color should be gray, and there should be a different kind of cursor. Not allowed. Okay. Now if you make your inputs valid, then a login button would be enabled. But if you remove something, the form became invalid again. So now button is disabled. Let's build it again. Okay, here I will call the function this.auth service, and we'll call the login function, and we need to pass the username and password. For that I will use this.form.value.username and this.form.value.password, and then this will give me the user that was logged in. Okay, and here I will check if user not found, then I will show up an error message, alert, invalid username or password. Okay, so now for example submit this information, you can see it is saying that invalid username or password. So here I will use the correct details. Correct details are this one. We have to use this username, and this time you will see that there is no error message, no alert message. That's mean the details were correct, but we need to do something. If details are correct, we need to redirect user to the admin route. So for that I will inject another service here, router service, so that we could use this to navigate user to the admin page. For that, use this router.navigate by URL, and here I will specify the path that would be /admin, and let's try. I will give it the correct details and submit. It is not working, and we see the reason is that we did not define the path for the admin yet. So we will define the path for admin, and we will lazily load the admin module. Okay, in the admin module right now you can see admin works messages there. So if you provide the correct detail, click on the login button. Now it is on the admin page, but we did not define any route yet. That's why it is not working. So here I will add the path, and component would be admin component, and in that you will see the admin works message there. But in the admin, if you want to display another component as the landing page of your admin, we will create that one now here. So in the admin folder I will generate another component that would be users page, and press enter. Now here I need to add children, and then we need to provide child routes. For that, use the same method to provide the path, and here I will use the component that would be users page. Okay, and now in the admin component, instead of having this data, we must have to use the router outlet, so that we could load the child components or routes into this one. Now in the users page you can see this data is being shown, right? And here I will have a button to log out from the admin. So for that I will add a button. So let me reuse the same styles that we created earlier on the public page. So I will on the landing page I will copy paste. I will move these styles to the global style file, that is style.scss. Paste it here, I will give it a class instead of button selector. In the landing page, we will add that class to this button. Okay, and now in the users page, I will add a button with the class button. Okay, now if user clicks on the logout button, then we should move user back to the public page. So for that we have to import we need to use the router link, and there I will use the empty path that will take user to the public page. So you click on that, you can see it took me to the login page. But we instead of using that, we need to call a function so that we could clear the data from the local storage as well, and in the session variable that we defined in the auth service. So let's catch the click event and call a function logout. Okay, we'll define that function. I also need to inject the service, that will be auth service, and in the logout we will call a function auth service dot logout. We did not create a function yet with that name, so in the auth service we will define it now. So logout will simply set the session is equal to undefined, and it will also set the local storage. It will remove the local storage that we created earlier. For that, give it the correct name, and it will remove that session. And after that, it should be responsibility of the auth service so that it could redirect user immediately after it is logged out. So I will inject a service that will be router, and now I will use that service to start router.navigate by URL, and I will add slash here. Now if you click on logout, it is still taking you back to the public page, but if user go to the address bar and specify the admin manually here, it is still letting user to go on the admin page. So that is not a correct behavior. We should protect our routes from unauthorized persons. For that we need to generate a guard, so a router guard. For that, use ng generate g, name it auth, press enter. We need to use can activate guard, and it will generate the guard here. Now open the app routing file, and here we will add that protection. Use the can activate, and here we will pass the array and give it the auth guard that you just generated. Open that guard, and here we need to inject the service, the auth service, so that we could check if user is logged in or authorized already or not. So to inject a service in this guard, I will use inject function from Angular core, and make sure to import this function here. And now I will give it the service class name auth service. Make sure to import it as well. Now I can get the session. I will check. If session is found, then return true, otherwise return false. So with that, you will never be able to open the route that is protected with that. So for example, open the dashboard, and here before returning false, I will inject another service and redirect user to the public page. For that, you inject router, and here I will use navigate by URL, and here I will specify the path. So with that, it will redirect user to the public route automatically if you specify a protected route without authentication. So for example, use admin, it is taking you back to the landing page because of this. So now I will log in and give it the correct details. And let's see if that allows us to go to the admin page. Now we are on the admin page. And if you go back to the home page and if you try to access the admin page again, it is still not allowing you. So let us see what is wrong there. So the issue is that we are logged in and that session is already stored in the local storage, but when you reload the browser, it will the value of the session variable will be lost. So we have to recover that value with the help of the local storage. For that, in the constructor, as you know, that constructor executes every time when the service or class is loaded or initialized first time. So at that time we want to check if there is a session in local storage. Let's session is equal to local storage.get item, and here I will use the name of the item, and we will check that if there is a session, then update the value of session by converting that into the object from string. We will parse that string because we know that there is a JSON in the string format. All right, at the end we will update the component property with this new session variable. Now if you reload it, it will have that session, and if you try to navigate to the admin, it will allow you to visit that page. But if you click on the logout button, and now if you try to access the admin page, it will not allow you because there is no local storage, there is no session in the local storage. So for example, in the application you can see there is no session with property in the local storage. Now I will log in again, and with that you will see that the session has been saved in the local storage. So with that you can even reload it, it will not stop you from accessing this page. So that's all that I wanted to cover in this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, then please leave them in the comment section. And if this video was useful for you in any way, then please don't forget to like, share this video, and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you could keep getting notifications for my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.